welcome.
We're back
to Cat Podcast, episode 62.
After what, like
5-month hiatus. Yeah.
5 months. Only because Victor was lazy.
Get out of here, dude. Yeah. Well, it was like
no, it's more
99% my fault anyway.
It is 99%. Well,
yeah. But
it's 100% your fault.
99.1. I
Okay.
was ready 3 weeks ago. You were busy
That's true.
that week.
That's true.
So 99.9.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, it's mostly because of school, so
yeah,
that makes
I
sense.
took some time off for school, and I ended up passing, so it worked.
And it was not, we didn't say anything because we didn't know that was going to be our last one, so
Yeah.
here we are. We're back. Season 2, I guess. I guess we
yeah.
can make this season 2, episode
Sure.
1.
Yeah, hilarious. Anyways, well, I mean, an infinite amount of stuff has happened since the last time we got together. So maybe what I think we'll do is like
this will be like our like welcome back episode, just recapping everything that we kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, and then, like
throughout like the 5 months, I guess.
Yeah,
like a recap,
and then but like a real big focus on what's happening right now too, because like there's a bunch of stuff that happened. Like the Blue Jays sucked in the playoffs.
We didn't get Ohtani.
No, the Canadian tennis players are playing terribly right now, except for we won the Billie Jean Cup, the women. So the Women's Davis Cup, we won. Yeah.
Okay.
But then all of our women lost in the first round of the
Australian.
Yeah. So, like,
that's so weird.
Or Layla lost in the second, I think.
But still, pretty early, yeah.
So that's tennis, not baseball.
Basketball, we're doing decent, I guess, but we traded almost everybody.
Yeah, we traded away Siakam and Anunoby. The returns that we got from
them they're good, yeah.
Outstanding.
And didn't we get like...
we got RJ Barrett back.
Yeah, and quickly too.
And quickly, but RJ Barrett's Canadian.
Oh, like Canadian, yeah.
On that,
but yeah, and then we got like what 3 first rounds for Siakam and like a couple players.
Yeah, so yeah, I like what our GM's doing. I like what our GM.
Unfortunately, like basically everyone from the 2019 is gone,
except for Chris Boucher.
That is true.
Canadian
Chris Boucher.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean that's.
But I meant like the main guys.
The starters, all the starters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that rumor that apparently the Thunder offered Paul George and Russell Westbrook for Siakam back right after our championship?
That's weird.
Well, yeah, and Kawhi wanted to play with Paul George. Like, we had an opportunity.
Also, we could have just kept... Yeah, we could have kept Kawhi.
To keep him. Whatever. I don't know. I don't think Westbrook's going to be good.
That's kind of weird that after, like... didn't he win, like, most improved, like, that year, too?
Siakam?
Yeah.
I think so.
And they wanted Siakam for both those guys?
Yeah. Look, Westbrook was an absolute cancer. Like, you didn't want Westbrook at all.
But Paul George, though.
Paul George is okay.
Yeah. Oh, well. We got 3 first rounds.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
We got to get him. And RJ Barrett.
And RJ...
The fact that we got RJ Barrett, I think, is massive. A Canadian
that was
in the Canadian market.
For Anunoby, though.
Well, yeah, but still, like, the fact...
Like, all our returns for the 2 players. Yeah.
For the 2 guys. Anunoby was huge, man. That was a huge trade. That was a big deal. Because, like, Anunoby's an exceptional defender. He's widely known as one of the best.
People were like, people from the other team were complaining, like, why did we get Anunoby? Like, he sucks. Well, he's really good defensively.
Yeah, Anunoby's elite defensively and sneakily good offensively. Yeah. So,
I don't know why they're complaining.
People just like to complain. It's fun for them.
Good
for them. I guess that's basketball. Football, like, not much to do with Canadians. Like, none of the Canadians did anything relevant on the offensive side of the ball this year. Defensively,
Chuba did.
A couple starts.
Chuba did really good.
Did he get anywhere near 1,000 yards?
But he did good. He basically stole Sanders' starting role.
Yeah, so Chuba's the starting running back of the Panthers, so that's nice. But the Panthers finished 1 in like 16, I think, right?
I think they won 2.
Oh, well, congratulations, Panthers.
They're still last, and then the Bears got first overall.
The Bears got the first overall pick.
Yeah.
That's so brutal, man. That's so brutal. Whatever. I don't really care about them. And then, I mean, I guess the elephant in the room is hockey.
Oh, man. Since our little break, I guess, it was a big roller coaster of emotions for Edmonton Oilers fans.
Well, it's like, I think part of the reason we didn't start it in like December, January was because of, or December was because of how bad the Oilers were doing, and all it was. I was like, nah, man, I'm just gonna
start off the new year.
Start off the new year. They'll get better next year, and we'll see. Now, did I envision them having 2 separate 8+ game win streaks?
No,
an 8 and a 13. I mean, probably not. No, definitely not.
No, I didn't.
I didn't think they'd be in a playoff spot right now. I think they'd be close.
I think they'd be like
they'd be where Calgary is right now. That's what I thought after their start.
After their start, yeah.
I thought they'd be where Vancouver is at the beginning of the season.
They're a big surprise too. Holy.
I guess Vancouver's defense isn't very incredibly talented, but they're physical and they're big.
Then it's
their
being carried by Quinn.
Very, very talented, very skilled. Hronik and Quinn Hughes, very good defensemen. But the other 4, they're just massive. They're 6'6", 6'8", 6'9". They're huge. And I think that's, if you look at what Vegas did last year and how they won the Cup and how they really dominated the Oilers forwards, is because of the size.
Yeah.
And I think more and more teams are really looking into that. You look at even...
Well, the NHL is a copycat league.
Yeah,
so.
And more and more, you look, Vancouver followed Vegas to a T, and they're doing exceptionally well. And they have a legit 1A, 1B in Thatcher Demko, and then as a Casey DeSmith backup, unreal. You're not
as a backup
DeSmith,
no.
At all. And Demko's playing exceptionally well. A year too late, because last year I had him on my freaking fantasy team. But... yeah, Demko's doing exceptionally well. That offense, they're playing outrageously good. Do you think Pettersson resigns there? I think if he wanted to already, he would have done it. I think he's looking at his options next year. He might, somewhat test for agency.
I guess it just depends on how far they go in the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I think the first-round matchup would be... If Vancouver plays the Kings, I'd be a little bit worried about that, just because of how stingy defensively the Kings are. But they're not very good offensively lately, which makes no sense to me because Pierre-Luc Dubois was an upgrade to what they sent back.
Yeah,
but
Iafallo and it's not Fiala. It's I'll look it up. But it definitely an upgrade from those two for sure.
But and then you look at the Jets. This is the first time. This is the best time for Canadian market hockey teams. Vancouver and Winnipeg are literally 1 and 2. Yeah. Edmonton is on a 13-game heater. Calgary is doing pretty decent after their horrible start as well. We have 3 of the top 5 teams in the NHL power rankings right now. Well, depending on what website you go at, I think. Look at ESPN; they don't have any of them in the top 5, which makes no sense. Vancouver and Winnipeg deserve to be the top 3 team in any power ranking.
Well, you said ESPN?
Yeah.
American,
yeah. Right? America.
So for the trade for Dubois, it was Gabriel Velarde, Alex Iafallo, and Rasmus Kupari, and a second-round pick.
Oh, wow. That was a lot.
For Dubois, yeah. That's a good trade.
And that's another one. Hey, the Winnipeg defense doesn't have... The Winnipeg defense isn't really, out of this world elite. I
think everyone's just gelling together.
And they play as a team, absolutely. But my biggest concern is when those two teams face any form of adversity, how are they going to... Because they haven't faced any adversity this season at all.
Not really, no.
And do you remember how last year I was like, no, we need to sell the entire Winnipeg Jets team and rebuild?
That's what we said, yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Just because everyone was wanting to leave.
But good for Rick Bowness, though. That's such a nice story. Rick Bowness as a coach, makes everyone so happy. He's such a good guy, apparently, too.
And then Hallebuck is definitely a Vezina candidate.
Laurent Brossois.
Yeah.
Over north of 930 save percentage. Are you
for the games he played? Me? Yeah, he's just outstanding.
That's just crazy. It's ridiculous. It absolutely is ridiculous. But
and then Toronto, I think they're in there, but it's not. They're not.
They're in the first wild card spot.
Yeah.
A point ahead of the second and 2 points ahead of the third. They have a game in hand, I think, on a couple of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been on a. I don't envision.
I think they're having problems like we did, where goalies have been subpar and defense is just not good. But I'm surprised how we just turned it around, even though we didn't even do anything. We just fired Jay Woodcroft, brought in Chris Knobloch, and then brought in Paul Coffey.
if you look at our expected goals for back then, it wasn't. They weren't horrific. They weren't great, but they weren't horrific. And if you looked at our analytics, just at the analytics, we were a top 10 team in the league. We were bottom 2 in the league in actual standings.
Yeah.
But we were a top 10 team in the league in our analytics. The issue was that they just weren't. They were getting defeated too quickly. Like they got scored on.
Oh, so it just got into their heads.
Yeah,
like,
and our goaltending was horrific. They couldn't stop a beach ball, either one of them. Skinner and Campbell both.
Yeah.
Like, were horrible. But that also had to do with just giving up too many grade A scoring chances. Like, the amount of 2-on-1s that we faced against us at the beginning of the season,
yeah.
every period it was like 2 or 3. It was at a point where I had to stop watching, man. I couldn't do it. It was just so frustrating. Did I tell you about my bad streak until like December?
No.
Okay, so from July until December,
yeah,
I watched a total of 35 games where I was like invested in a team. It was either my team, like the Oilers, the Packers, the Jays, or the Raptors, or it was like I was cheering for Buffalo one game because if they won, I won a $250 bet.
Damn.
Or if I cheered for Minnesota one game, it pains me to say, but I cheered for Minnesota one game, and if they won, I would have won again the $250 bet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I watched a total of 36 games between July and December. Actively watched July to October, but I stopped. I didn't watch like any sports in November pretty much, just because of this streak.
Yeah.
How many of the 35 games do you think my teams won?
0.
3.
Oh.
I won 3 for 32 in between the months of July to December. Horrific.
So it's all your fault, Victor.
Seriously. Just brutal, man. It was so difficult to be me. But then both my teams turned it around, so now it's really nice to be me. There's no Canadians in the Packers, so I won't talk about them. But the fact that we just barely lost to the 49ers with a terrible kicker.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the misses were pretty bad.
A buddy of mine has, like, a part ownership on the Packers right now. He got gifted that for Christmas. It was sick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I texted him, like, hey, man, can you hold open trials for the kicker position? Like, I'll do it. I'll go. But, anyways. Yeah, I mean, the NHL, it's insane what's happening right now. I'm shocked at the Bruins. I thought losing Patrice Bergeron was going to do a lot more than what actually happened.
They just kept going.
That's just a great culture in that room then, hey? Like, that's exceptional leadership. As much of a rat as
I was going to say, yeah.
It's like, the guy's got to be a fantastic leader. And then another surprise, too, it's... You know, honestly, I'm not shocked, but I am surprised about Calgary. Just how bad they started. They're doing better now, but just not great.
Like, they started better than us, though. But.
Yeah, I mean, that's not saying much. Truthfully, though, at the end of the day, Ottawa is a pretty big shock for me.
Yeah.
Like, they're horrible. And they upgraded their defense is actually, on paper,
pretty decent.
I thought they were better than Vancouver's defense at the beginning of the year, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, the size, I guess, in Vancouver's defense, and Rick Tocchet has them playing a certain way. Those two teams are, like, united for sure. Canadian head coaching news, Patrick Waugh is now the head coach of the New York Islanders.
Since when?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
He fired Lane Lambert and hired
I didn't even hear anything.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's a little too late, honestly.
It's weird, though, because he played for Montreal and Colorado.
Well,
but
he
it's just weird, though.
And then apparently was expecting to get phone calls.
Yeah.
He never got a phone call. And then Lou Lamoriello called this year, a couple days ago, apparently. And was like, hey, man, like, you're the only guy I want for the job. You want to take it? He's like, yeah,
sure.
Please, thanks. So that was interesting. I don't know. I'll be interested. I'm really interested to see how that works out. We shall see. I am hoping for the best for Patrick Waugh, to be honest. Like, I like the guy. And typically coaching changes have a bit of an effect.
On, like, the team, like, morale and stuff?
Yeah. So... you have some big news, actually, so you can go ahead and share
Well,
that.
it's reported by, like, from NHL Network that Corey Perry is reportedly signing with the Edmonton Oilers, which would be pretty cool. just more grit on like the third and fourth line.
I guess we don't have a mom strip this year.
Uh-huh.
Right? We don't have a mom strip anymore.
I don't think so.
You remember that rumor?
Yeah, I did. I did.
So brutal, dude.
But no, it's just like we had Zach Cassian, and we kind of turned his like behavior around, and then Evander Kane as well. So why not try with Corey Perry this time? No, but I think he will help the bottom six for sure. He can even pop in the top six.
You know what Brown I think brings us more than anything is championship experience. He has been. To
You mean
cup.
Perry?
Who did I say?
Brown? I'm like,
why?
like
I was looking at Connor Brown stats in here. Yeah.
I was like,
sorry,
I don't think Connor Brown did anything.
No. Sorry, what Perry brings us. You're right. What Perry brings us more than anything is that championship experience.
Oh yeah,
he's been in the cup. Lost in the cup final 3 times in a row.
He did.
Okay, but he won the cup with Anaheim. So he's been in the cup more. He's been in the cup final more than the Oilers team.
Than everybody.
I'm sure. Because we have Ekholm who's been in the final with Nashville.
Okay, one. But I think that's it.
I honestly
or maybe
think that's it.
Kulak, I guess.
Oh yeah, Kulak with Montreal, so 2.
2.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, because most of the other guys are on our team for a while. Like Gagne's never been there. Janmark.
Kane hasn't been in there.
Kane, no. Yeah, so
yeah,
cup experience, and we need that. Like we have, we've won 13 in a row. Let's not sugarcoat it. We've won 13 in a row. This team's rolling right now. So, bringing somebody in at this time, it's scary. Let's not kid ourselves. It's scary, but.
It's probably at league minimum too, so we're not really like spending that much on Perry.
Yeah, and that's huge. The fact that Pickard being here and having his league minimum contract up here is allowing us to sign Perry. And Perry's an upgrade to Ernie. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Perry's an upgrade to Ernie.
Yeah.
So even if Perry's our 13th forward, it's still an upgrade.
Oh yeah.
Right. And yesterday's game, like our goals came from McLeod and Gagne.
Mm-hmm.
So our bottom 6 is.
Our bottom 6 has been playing really well.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year they were nothing.
No,
completely gone. McLeod couldn't score into a football net, like just awful, dude. For the Green Goals, sorry, it's soccer net.
Oh,
sorry.
No, but yeah. So it'll also help with our offense too, because he's been pretty decent last year. Maybe not this year because he like left for a bit, but. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think this is if this is actually true, it's a good signing for Edmonton. Do you think we'll be buyers though?
Well, we have to. It's the McDavid Draisaitl era. Draisaitl needs to re-sign this year. 100%. You go every single possible way, all in, and you re-sign Draisaitl to whatever he wants. And
you think now that we're like third in the division, now
I don't think these guys are.
No, but I'm saying like now that we're third in the division. Holland doesn't have to worry about like trying to help the team get out of the slump, but now just to improve them better, just to prepare for like the playoffs and stuff.
I don't think anything changes. I still think we need a bottom 6. I think we need a second line right winger. We need a bottom 6 center, preferably.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I think we need one more defenseman. I think a right side, an upgrade on either CC or Kulak. I'd like to keep Kulak though, an Alberta kid. Yeah, an Edmonton area kid.
Yeah.
I like you, Kulak. But I think we need an upgrade there, and I do think we still. We'll need an upgrade to our backup.
Yeah, I was gonna say backup upgrade would be good.
But I think the only one that I would take in is like a backup with proven playoff experience, like a Quick, but he's not going to be available.
No.
Or a Marc-Andre Fleury.
He's available.
Would be available. Will he
want to come?
Agree to come here
and be the backup too?
I think he understands where he's at. I don't think he thinks he's a starter anymore.
Well, I guess because of Gustafsson last year too, so that makes sense. But yeah, having Fleury would be a definite upgrade.
The more cup experience you can get, the better. Like we did so freaking well that year when Duncan Keith and Mike Smith were with us. The 1 year of Duncan Keith, we did exceptionally well. I think we played better than what we should have. The fact that we destroyed Calgary the way that we did, we were a lot closer to Colorado than what credit was due.
Yeah.
Colorado was far and above the better team.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't even.
They were a monster that year. Yeah.
Like that, we had absolutely no right to even win the game against them, which we didn't.
No.
Colorado's far and above the better team. But we made more of a series out of it because of the leadership that Smith and Keith presented. And that's something that I argued until the end. I thought that losing Smith and Keith was going to be a huge loss. And I think last year it showed how much of a loss it was. And even at the beginning of this year, they got out of it, which shows, I think, the leadership in that dressing room. But, I mean, I don't think it's a shock that we kind of got out of it once Gagne came back into the dressing room. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
Gagne
I did
came
actually,
back
yeah.
from injury and whatnot, and just really started to present like more leadership in that room. Not taking anything away from the core that we have right now, like the McDavid's, Nurse, Draisaitl, Nuge,
yeah.
Hyman's. Hyman, man.
Oh,
what
man,
a
Hyman.
Freaking
Yeah.
horse that guy is, too, hey? The empty netter he scored yesterday? Did anybody put more effort into anything in their lives than Hyman did to get that freaking puck into that net? Oh my god, dude.
He's just there to win.
And that's exactly what this team needs. Like, this team needs more efforts like that.
Like, their defensive play has been outstanding
Defensive,
in this
man,
win streak, yeah.
Like, yesterday's game, we gave up a single 2-on-1.
Just one.
That I watched.
Okay.
To be fair, I was watching the Packers game.
Yeah.
But it resulted in a goal. We gave up a single odd man break like that, 2-on-1. 3-on-2's not as concerned, but like the back check, there was a couple of like potential 2-on-1s that almost happened, but
Yeah.
it was McLeod who got back, and Leon Draisaitl defensively lately.
Even McDavid, too.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
McDavid's physical play, too.
McDavid and Draisaitl are really willing this team a lot, and sometimes they're not on the scoreboard. It happens, they're not on the score sheet.
Yeah.
But that's an exceptional sign that they
That
are.
without them, then we can still be in the games and stuff, yeah.
I looked at the stats yesterday. We were 9-62-10 when McDavid or Draisaitl are not on the score sheet. We're now 10-62-10. So, but yeah, like this team for the longest time has been the only way we win is if McDavid and Draisaitl put us on their backs. Which it's fantastic that we have a generational players like them. Absolutely, like exceptional. But can't count on them every single day. They're human beings. Are going to have off days. It's going to happen. Now, this team still needs more depth, in my opinion. I do think that if we can get Janmark out of our, out of the bottom six into the 13th forward, I think Perry pushes both Janmark, definitely Ernie, and Janmark out.
Yep.
Yeah. Holloway would be a nice...
Like, we did recall Holloway, so.
Yeah, and he played really well yesterday, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Very well. But, well, we'll see. We forget yet, like last year, our McLeod, Fogle, Holloway line in the playoffs was outstanding. Out-freaking-standing, man. It's just our fourth line. They're very small, which isn't usually the recipe for success.
Yeah, in the playoffs, for sure.
We'll see.
Toronto, they did sign Nylander.
He's had no points since his
signing, yeah.
But I don't know if he scored a point yesterday, though, to be fair. I will quickly fact check it if he got a point in there. 6-4 loss to the Vancouver Canucks.
Which was also really, really weird.
What? The fact that they lost?
A little bit.
Oh, Nylander got 2 goals. We're fine. He's back on the scoring stretch. Yeah.
But 8 years for 11.5. What do you think?
I think that's a lot.
Considering it's Nylander?
He's their third, I'd argue, almost fourth best player, and they're giving him $11.5 million. That's.
Do you think Marner's out?
He has to.
Because they don't have
the money for that.
Money for anything, yeah.
No. Well, I'd pick Marner over Nylander every day.
I'd pick Marner over Nylander too.
Like,
but I guess that's not what.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I really don't care. Like, good for them. Whatever, dude. I genuinely don't care.
That just means a team is going to have a really good player in Marner if that happens.
Yeah.
Or if they keep all 4, then they're just.
Their bottom 6 is
yeah.
probably an atrocity. They won't fix their goaltending situation. You know what? It's been a blessing. Like, this... Martin Jones has been really good for them so far this year. But
they can't be.
No, he's not
they can't be the top goalie. Yeah.
Martin Jones
I guess
would be
just
really good in a 1A 1B situation, like what he was doing in
Like
Seattle
until
for a
Wool
while.
comes back, then
Yeah, but even Wool, like, how can you? I don't know, man.
well, we did it with Skinner.
Yeah, Skinner's better than Wool. Come on, let's not even
Well, I'm
go
saying
the
like
they're not even in the same category.
I'm saying they do it like we have a young goalie and he's playing outstanding. So
Yeah, Skinner is playing outrageous, and it's fantastic. Like yesterday, he made some like glorious saves too, but I don't know if Wool can be really compared to Skinner. It's the same way I'm going to say.
I'm not really
Skinner can't be
comparing.
compared to like Shesterkin.
I'm not really comparing Wool to Skinner. I'm just saying like they have a young goalie and they could probably play him, but he's injured, isn't he? So
Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers will succeed and win a cup with a goalie who's performing above league average. We have been saying that for the last 4 to 5 years. All we need is above league average goaltending. Skinner's giving that to us.
yeah, which is
He's
what
giving us
now
top
it's
10
like.
goaltending right
Now it's like 880 something for league average. So we're definitely getting that.
well above league average.
Well above league
He
average.
was at like 830, dude. He was like, it was horrific how they started. And he's brought it all the way back up. I think he's like 907 now, 906. And considering
In the streak, I think it was like 930 or
yeah,
something.
in the streak, he's at 930 right now.
Yeah.
And in the last 8 streak, he was also pretty
Pretty good,
darn out
yeah.
there. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy to me. Like he's tied the Edmonton Oilers record for most consecutive wins by a goalie. He's tied Grant Fuhr for first. Our next game is against the Blue Jackets at home.
Oof.
So our next 3 games are the Blue Jackets, Blackhawks,
Oof.
Predators, all at home. They damn well better win every single one of them.
We're what, 13 right now?
Or 13.
Yeah, so those 3 would be 16. So it'd be one off the
Yeah.
record.
And then our next game is against Vegas.
After those 3?
Yeah. After the All-Star break.
Oh, okay.
Vegas, Anaheim, LA. Those are our next 6 games.
We can get past Vegas, and then from there, then we can...
They have such a horrific tendency of playing down to their opponent. And we're playing 2 of the worst teams in the league the next 2 games. And we're going to be playing a Predators team who's desperate for wins because they're barely in that wild card spot. I'm nervous. Shouldn't be. Look, if you look at on paper, we should go 16-0. We absolutely should. But this team needs to, their last game against Chicago was a disgrace. Horrific. They played against Chicago in Chicago. Chicago literally iced an AHL lineup. I don't think any, except for, what's the guy who's having his career, 3 of their guys are having career years right here. And he's a defensively minded forward. Anyways, Dickinson, I think.
Yeah.
Dickinson. He's the only player, I think, in that forward group right now that could go to a contender and help bolster that lineup. He would be a 4th liner
On those teams,
on the contenders. But in Chicago, he's the first liner. And with all their injuries, I think everyone is still injured by the time they come back. They come up to Edmonton to play us. So we'll see, man.
Skinner just has to play like he's playing, and then we just have to wake up offensively, and we should be fine.
Yeah, we haven't been great offensively, but the chances are going to come. And you know what's incredible about this win streak is we're doing it with a mid power play. Our power play's been horrible under Edmonton standards.
Is season 2 going to be atrocious now for your new word, or?
I've used that a lot.
You did.
Abysmal, atrocity, disgusting, embarrassing. What else? I need to get a thesaurus out for the next episode. But our power play's been awful. Even just to our standards.
No.
It's league standards. I think we're shooting at 18% in our win streak.
That's pretty average.
No, that's not good. That's not average. Average in the league right now is 21%.
Below average, so it's still average.
Below average is still 5% of something below average. I don't know what you want. The one thing that's been really nice is our penalty kill.
Oh yeah,
I think we're 90%.
Just defense in general is just because I think this is our 11th straight with less than 2 goals or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10th or 11th. something like that. Can we ignore? Like, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I thought Paul Coffey coming in to fix the defense. I didn't think he'd do anything defensively. The guy's known as an offensively minded.
That's what I thought too.
Player.
Yeah.
But the fact what he's done is just like limited the mistakes, made them. Do you see how many times they, like, when they clear the puck, they always have one guy in the middle of the ice? So what they do is, like, they hit it as hard as they can towards the middle. The guy in the middle hits it as hard as he can towards the out, and then they get it out somehow.
Yep.
I've always been scared of that, but, like, right now I'm feeling like, okay, I'm confident in this. Good for you guys, man. Keep it up.
They probably change it up so that they don't read it, but...
Yeah, but
it... every time they do it, it works, yeah.
They're playing as a unit. That's something that's huge. They weren't playing as a unit at all at the beginning of the year. Like, the amount of mishaps they had. The amount of odd man breaks they gave up. Just a joke, man. Absolute joke. But they've given up significantly less now. So...
Yep.
Montreal's Montreal.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Montreal is what we thought they were.
They lost 9-4 or something, I think.
Jesus. Who else? I think that's all the Canadian teams. We mentioned Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary.
This is by far the best chance Canada has of winning a cup.
Oh,
I think in either of our lifetimes.
With, like, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Edmonton? Yeah.
I think
and if Toronto picks it up, then it'll be 4, but those
team will
three.
be in the Stanley Cup final this year.
Yeah.
Representing the West, I think.
There's a very, very good chance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
if you're Oilers, who would you rather play, Vancouver or Winnipeg?
That's tough.
I think we realistically play both if we make it. If we make the playoffs, we realistically are playing both Vancouver and Winnipeg in order to get to the final. Winnipeg has the easier one. They only have to play one of Edmonton or Vancouver, likely.
Yeah, but we have to do 2. I would say as much as Hellebuck is probably better than Demko, I'd say Winnipeg would be easier.
Yeah, I'd play Winnipeg. The defense is not as physical as Vancouver's defense is.
And we also lost 3 with Vancouver, so that might be in their heads.
Okay, but at the beginning of the year.
No, I'm saying, like, that might be in their heads.
Maybe. But like, they were just embarrassingly bad to start the year.
Never mind. Like, if we're in the top 3 of the division, we're going to face them anyway before Winnipeg, so...
No, well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, unless one of us has a monumental breakdown. But even then, like, the Oilers... guaranteed we'll be playing for our run to the final. If we have a run to the final, we're playing both of them. 100% guaranteed. Vancouver, more than actually likely would, because they're finishing first in the Pacific.
Yeah.
The only way they wouldn't is if the Oilers lose in the first round. And that'd be tough, man. Like, having to play Vegas in the first round and then Vancouver and then Winnipeg, like...
That's going to be tough if that happens.
Yeah, it'd be brutal. Oh, man. But then I guess Winnipeg has to still play Dallas and Colorado.
That's true.
Has to make it past them. The wild card will be a little bit...
That'll be interesting.
Well, it's like... I would rather play every one of the wild card teams. The Kings, I as much as I love our rivalry, I don't want to tempt fate and play
them again.
In the playoffs again. It's just...
Well, how would we unless we finish 2 and 3?
Well, the Kings could finish 3rd. There's still a chance. Like, Vegas is on a little bit of a tailspin right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we'll see. I mean, I am concerned. I'm scared. But that's how I always am.
That is true. You are pretty... You do panic quite a bit for the Oilers.
They affect me more than they absolutely should. Let's not even kid ourselves. Like, with an Oilers loss, my mood is very dependent on the Oilers. So, I was in a horrific mood to start this year for the entire first few months. Thank God I had to study for that exam.
Because then you don't have to worry about the... Yeah.
I was not leaving my house whatsoever. But, I don't know, man. Like, it's just frustrating. But now, 13-game heater. I think this goes... I mean, I think we're already happy with how it is, to be completely honest.
Oh, yeah.
but they just can't. Their foot cannot get off the gas. Like,
Nope.
They're barely in the play. Like they're barely in the playoff spot right now.
Even though we do have games in hand, we still can't just
we
slow
can't
down.
lose those games in hand.
Yep. We just have to keep going.
Absolutely agree. We'll see. I'm really wanting the teams that are around us to start losing.
Just so that we have some breathing room.
In our 13-game win streak, we've only made up 5 points on Vancouver. That's stupid. That's so dumb. 13 games win streak, we've only made up 5 points. The 8-gamer, we made up a little bit more. But yeah, in our 13-game win streak, we've only made up like 5 or 6 points on Vancouver. Vancouver in the last 10 are 8-1-1. Edmonton are 10-0-0, obviously.
Obviously.
That's 3 points we've made up for them in the last 10 games. And we won all of them. Isn't that just
That's
ridiculous?
crazy.
Vancouver's playing so well. I'm pumped that we play them one more time before the end of the season at home. We'll play them, I think, like with 5 games remaining on the season.
Yeah.
5 or 6. And obviously, we're not going to win every single game up until that point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is if we keep a pretty high percentage of how we're playing really well right now.
Like the last 2 years, like after the new year, I guess, we always play extremely well.
Yeah, last year we went 14-0-1 to finish out the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we continue to play, I do think 100% second in the Pacific is up for grabs right now.
Oh, yeah.
No question at all about
Yeah,
that. First in the Pacific
Is
if
Vancouver.
I were to bet, it'd be Vancouver.
Yeah.
But is there a chance?
There's always a chance. It's just...
I think there's a legitimate chance that we get a chance we can finish first in the Pacific. I just think Vancouver needs to. Actually, Vancouver can stay playing the same way that they are right now. Just that they can't lose again.
we'll just win all the rest of our games, and we'll be fine.
Yeah,
and we'll still be behind Vancouver.
it's just brutal.
But no, we just like we said, just keep going, pedal to the metal. Just don't focus on that. Just focus on your team and just keep going, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, and they can't take these lesser teams.
No,
they can't take them for granted at all. Like if we don't destroy Columbus, I'm gonna be really sad. Really sad. And I want like a 7-8 blowout.
do you think? I don't think that'll happen though. No.
Yeah, I think it can. We have the skill for it. McDavid got held pointless last game. He's gonna be motivated. Same with Draisaitl. Holloway.
I guess,
on
yeah.
the score sheet, and they're likely playing Pickard.
True. And Pickett's been playing well.
Pickard's is putting up numbers good enough to get us a chance to win. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. Is he a superstar? Not a chance. Is he? But he's giving us enough of a chance to win for sure.
And I've noticed Rodrigue and Campbell has been playing well down there. Since,
I think if we call
especially
Campbell for the playoffs just to have a second person, if it has to do that, then okay, whatever, we do it. But I still think they trade for a backup. But they can't be giving up so much for a backup. Like the bigger hole is the second line right winger.
If we're gonna get a backup, we're gonna have to give up Campbell though.
Yeah, but no one's gonna take it
unless we give up more than we have to.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
We'll see.
I think it is important that we do shore up these holes. Again, the biggest one, we need that secondary score, that second line right winger to give us, because not only that second line right winger will knock Fogle down to the third line, third line of McLeod, Fogle, and Holloway. Let's say that's a potential scoring team right there, like very much so.
We'll see.
We shall see. Anyways, that's all I got, I think.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I guess it's a recap-ish episode.
And just letting you all know that we are still alive.
We're here still.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you for listening to episode 62 of the Can Ass Podcast.
Yep.
Season 2.
Episode 1.
I guess.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, a year and a half long season. Whatever. Or maybe we can call one preseason. Because we were still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But we're still figuring it out now.
This is probably going to be on Spotify now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And YouTube or just Spotify?
Probably just Spotify for now, unless I have time to put it on YouTube too.
I'll put it on Spotify for sure. And then we have like the 2 people who listen to us on YouTube as well, so
yeah.
Gotta make sure that we hook them up.
Hook them up.
Yeah. Right. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening to Canada's Podcast. This is episode 62.
Yeah.
And we will, I'd say next week, but I don't know.
Well, that's up to you.
So. Anyways.
My weekends are always open, so it's up to you.
Fair enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Canada's Podcast, we talk sports. Canadian sports.